Welcome to the KKE video series. In this What's New in 8.0 video, we will cover the new features in the Case SMA Service Desk. Ability to retire users. Starting in this release, administrators can disable user accounts while maintaining their ticket associations and ticket history, allowing them to keep a proper audit trail, avoiding orphaned tickets. Device auto assignment. When new tickets are created, the assigned device field is populated with the ticket submitter's primary device. Submitters manager as ticket approvers option. Approval workflows that require a manager's approval now includes the submitter's manager as one of the approval options. Managers can view and comment on tickets for their employees through the user portal. Starting in this release, managers can review and comment on their employees' tickets to be aware of any issues that are directly impacting their staff. Ability to edit or remove comments and attachments from tickets. Ticket queues can now be configured to allow users to edit or delete the comments they added to tickets, to correct errors, or to remove incorrect information. Any attachments associated with a comment can also be removed. Additionally, technicians can be granted the ability to edit or delete their own comments as well as the comments of other users. For example, a technician may need to delete sensitive data that a user may have inadvertently added to a comment or attachment. These changes are recorded in the ticket activity log. Email configuration improvements. Starting in this release, the email configuration for the appliance is improved. The new Service Desk Email Preferences page allows you to quickly configure preferences for the email sent to and from the Service Desk users and staff. You also have an option to configure email settings for each ticket queue separately. When the external SMTP option is configured in the appliance network settings, you can quickly test it prior to saving the network settings to ensure the provided parameters are valid. I will now demo a few of these features for you. To begin using the User Archive feature, you first need to enable it. You do that here in the Settings, Control Panel, General Settings page. When you scroll most of the way down the page, you'll find the User Archive section and you check the box to enable it. Then you can specify a tag that will be associated with the names of archived users. You can type whatever you like in here. You can use the word archived or inactive or perhaps retired. You can also specify whether you want the associations, the tickets that might be associated with the retired user, or the assets that are associated with the retired user. You can choose whether you want to remove those associations or maintain them. And on those tickets and assets, you'll see that retired user's name with the tag next to it. Do note that if you enable user archival, you will not be able to delete user accounts until they've been archived. Now we have the ability to archive users. Let me show you how that works. We have two options. One, we can check the box next to the users that we want to archive, click Choose Action, and select Archive. If this particular user account was a manager of other users, you could choose a different manager for those users right now. Then you can click Confirm to archive the user. Alternatively, you can click on the name of the user and click the Archive button here. Same options, click Confirm. John Smith is now archived, as evidenced by the icon next to his name. And you can see when I hover over it, it pops up and it says Archive Completed. If I go back into that user's account, you'll see the banner at the top of the page. It tells me that this user account is already archived and no changes can be made. Archived user accounts are maintained on the appliance in read-only mode. You can delete them as needed. If you archive a user account and add it to the appliance again, a new user account is created, while the archived account is maintained until being removed. For example, if an employee leaves the organization and its user account becomes archived, if they join the organization again, a new user account is created without any association to the archived account. Similarly, if you archive a user account on the appliance without updating your organization's Active Directory, an LDAP import results in a new user account, that is not associated with the previously archived user. Our next feature is the ability to require that a submitter's manager approve a ticket in a process. To do that, we come here to our Service Desk configuration. We click on Process Templates. We'll see any of the processes or workflows that we've created in the past. And if we click on one, here in the Approvals page, we have the ability to choose to require approval if a user wants to kick off this process. For instance, if one of my end users needs to make a software request, I want to make sure that their manager approves it before it shows up in the Service Desk and one of my techs begins to work on it. So the new option here in 8.0 can be found in the list. I can choose the submitter's manager. And that way, whenever one of my end users submits a new software request process, their manager will be notified and they'll have to approve or disapprove that ticket before any of my technicians will be able to act on it. Next, I'll show you the ability to control the new comment features. Again, here in our Service Desk configuration, we click on Queues, and we choose the queue that we want to customize. We'll scroll down just a little bit, and we'll notice the new options here. We can allow managers to view and comment on their employees' tickets. We can allow users to edit or delete their own comments, including any attachments in those comments. And here, we can allow technicians or ticket owners to edit or delete the comments entered by others, users, or other technicians on the tickets. You'll note that these are queue-independent settings, which means I can have different options chosen in each of my different queues. And the final new feature I want to highlight in this video are related to the new email configuration improvements. You'll notice the top of the queue detail page looks a little bit different. Usually there are a couple of email related fields here at the top. And if we scroll down, we'll notice that the email on events checkboxes are not here either. So if we scroll back up to the top, we'll notice a hyperlink, Configure Queue Email Settings. And this is a brand new page in the 8.0 version. And all of those email settings that we were used to being at the top of the queue detail page, and the email on events checkbox matrix that we were used to being on the queue detail page, we can now find here on this one page. Everything in one place. We can configure the standard fields we've always had. We can choose to enable and utilize the POP3 and or the SMTP settings. And you'll note the new test connection button here. As I called out in the beginning of the video, you now have the ability to test it prior to saving the configuration. You'll also notice a click here for help with configuration that gives you a few examples. As usual, once you're happy with your configuration, click Save. Thank you for watching this presentation on what's new in the 8.0 version of the Case Systems Management Appliance.